guys. So it's been a while since I've done a video. This past weekend I was over at XFestCon over in Schaumburg, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. I actually spent my birthday weekend there, and I honestly had a complete blast. It was so awesome to meet everybody. I got to meet my friend Billy that I've known her online for about 15 plus years or so, give or take. So it was really awesome to finally get to meet her after all of these years. That was an absolute blast. It was a great experience. And she really helped make my birthday really epic. So I have her to thank for a lot of that. I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about my experience with XFest 2. The last one was last year in 2018, back in I think March 2nd, 3rd, around that time. And it was only one day. This time it was the whole weekend, which is kind of like a typical convention. It was like Friday through Sunday. Some conventions run from like Thursday through Monday, or at the very least Friday through Sunday or Monday kind of thing. So I think having those extra days really helps things quite a bit. We actually arrived about Thursday afternoon, and we checked into the hotel, which was the con was held at the Hyatt Regency in Schaumburg, and the hotel itself was fine. We initially weren't going to stay there because Hyatt's tend to be a little bit more expensive. We ended up then deciding to stay there, and it was worth it because we didn't have to like drive around, during the day, which when you're already dealing with the con craziness of having to go to and from your hotel to get certain things, it can get a little crazy. So having that convenience was kind of nice. We went ahead and showed up at the hotel. I'll get into that a little bit later, but I didn't really care for the experience that I had at this hotel. I'm not sure if going forward the con hosts are going to choose that hotel again for the convention. The convention itself was fine. It's just the issues I experienced as far as my room were kind of sucky, to put it lightly. And otherwise, I had a great time. And the con itself started on like Friday afternoon, I believe. And they started off with like a convention mixer, and they had some other things that were kind of going on. And I actually missed that last year because I came in just for the one day. I came in too late to miss I missed the mixer that was happening the night before. And they had these special X-Files themed I Want to Believe beers that I missed out on it. And they had that this year. So I made a whole kind of a vacation extended weekend, little mini vacation. It was from Wednesday through, we left on Monday, and I just had a great time. So as I was saying, the con started on Friday. We got checked in pretty early. We just hung around the hotel, met up with some other awesome fans, and hung out, had some drinks, got our registration thingies and whatnot. And let me say, going forward, I honestly don't know if I would choose VIP again. I actually didn't do that last year. I know at SpookyCon, which I'll also get into, I got a VIP, which I thought for Spooky was worth it, because if you went to SpookyCon with David and Jillian and a lot of the other main cast, it was a complete freaking disaster. So having a VIP really helped if you were one of those who attended that. But honestly, I just feel like that this convention was just so well organized and not, it wasn't a disaster, or anything like that. It was just really well run, and so we didn't have any craziness that happened. I mean, there was a kind of a few things here and there, some small things, but honestly, I just didn't feel like I really utilized the VIP benefits. I felt like the lines for the autographs and the selfie ops and the pro photo ops went about the same. There weren't really any excruciatingly long lines. You weren't waiting in line for hours like like you would have, like, you know, if you were at Spooky, you would probably would have, if you went there, you know that you'd be waiting in that line for a couple hours. This wasn't the case at X-Fest at all. Everything just went really smoothly. So going forward, I'll probably just get a general admission. I personally prefer the selfie. As far as individual actor photos, like if you're taking a picture with one other actor, I honestly prefer the selfie. I feel like it's a little bit more personal. It's not so like posed, so to speak. I obviously got the cast up as a pro photo op. I was kind of mostly concerned with that, and hanging out with friends, that's always really awesome. So for me, going this time was more about hanging out and sharing my birthday and just having the experience with other fans, and seeing other people experience it for the first time. So I truly had a blast. It was an epic weekend. So yeah, when we got there, you know, we kind of relaxed for a bit. But yeah, as I was saying, that with the VIPs and everything like that, I would probably just go ahead and get a general admission pass and probably not get a VIP again. I feel like, I don't know, I just didn't, like I said, I didn't really utilize it too much. I didn't really find that there were any long lines. And I also felt like in the panel rooms, usually seating is like organized by like VIPs, like have the front couple of rows, where in general admission pass holders kind of sit towards the back. You know, this time, you know, nothing was really sectioned off. Pretty much everyone just sat where they wanted to, so I kind of felt like it was like, you know, kind of like, what's the point of having a VIP? Like, it was pretty much just open seating, which was kind of weird because I think at the past conventions, like even X-Fest last year is very specific that the VIPs sit in front, and the general admission pass holders, you know, or, you know, sit a couple of rows behind. So I'm not sure what happened with that, but it was just kind of like open seating. As far as the pro photo ops, as I said, it's really good for the group photos. And when it comes to individuals, I prefer it on my phone because, you know, you already get that digital on your phone. And if you don't know this already, the photography companies, on top of the $40, $50 you're paying for your photo op, you're paying an extra $10 to $15 on top of that for either a physical copy, another physical copy of your photo if you want another one, or for the digital. And honestly, I think that it's kind of ridiculous because it's like, you're already paying $40, $50 for a photo, and you have to pay another $10, $15 on top of that for the digital. I don't know. For me, I feel like it's a little much, especially with some of the group photos that were several $100s. I feel like the digital should just come with it. So that's kind of why I honestly exchanged some of my, you know, with our VIP pass holders, you get some photo ops, you get some autograph ops. I had the gold VIP, so I got like 3 of each. I honestly ended up exchanging out my photo ops for selfie ops because I just feel like, I don't know, like I just, you know, you already get the digital on your phone. I just think it's better, honestly. You have a little bit more control of getting a better photo. Usually when they take the selfie, they take a couple of pictures. So that way, you know, if there's one if it doesn't turn out or something like that, you've got a couple on there. So that's kind of what I like about the ability to have the selfie. So that's kind of nice. Like if that's something you're considering, for me personally, I would purchase the selfie photo ops versus the pro photo ops, unless of course you're doing like a big group photo, like with the Lone Gunmen, and you want to do like specific poses or something. But otherwise, if you just, you know, want to get a, you know, a quick photo with your favorite actor, it's just you and him or her, I honestly just prefer the selfie photo ops, and you know, because you eliminate, it's a little bit cheaper for one. It's about $30 compared to like, I think it was 40 or 50 for the pro photo ops. If you didn't have VIP and you wanted to purchase extra, it was 40 or 50 bucks. So it's a little bit cheaper, and 2, you're not having to pay that extra $10 to $15 for a digital copy. So that's kind of what I think of that. And I was able to exchange, you know, because I basically exchanged out some of mine for selfies or whatever. So honestly, I just feel like I didn't really utilize the VIP pass too much. And I guess gold pass holders compared to platinum, which I think platinum was a $400 VIP, and I think they got 5 photo ops and 5 autographs in that. They also got a t-shirt, which we didn't get. The gold VIPs, I believe, were about $350 to $399, something like that. And I think it was $349 or something like that. So we got like the usual VIP benefits plus the 3 photo ops, the 3 autographs. But we didn't get the shirt. We got the posters and stuff, but we didn't get the shirt, only the platinum VIP holders, which I thought was kind of weird. So I ended up having to buy my own shirt, which was $25. So yeah, again, as I said, I probably going forward won't purchase a VIP again for XFest. I just didn't really feel like I utilized the benefits of it. But if you're a first-time con goer and you want the full experience, you might benefit from that a little bit better. Honestly, it just depends on what you're looking for. But as far as like getting through lines quicker and priority seating, I just feel like it wasn't really that good for that. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, everyone was really amazing. There were quite a few actors. Annabeth, Gish, and Mitch Pileggi were always really amazing. The 3 lone gunmen were there. It was just, I had a blast. I got a couple of group photo ops. I got a photo op with lone gunmen. And that was really awesome. So I really had a great experience. I also had breakfast with Annabeth Gish on Sunday morning, which I'll get to that and tell you a little bit about that. That was a blast also. And I also noticed, and this convention was, the XFest 2 was a lot better than XFest 1, which I felt was just very rushed. It was, you know, cons are already kind of crazy. It was very rushed, so it was only one day. It was a lot better that we had the couple of days to spread it out, but there's still kind of a lot of overlap. Like a lot of the photo ops were happening around the same time that the panels were happening. So I ended up missing a lot of the panels, and I was sort of bummed about that. I know X-Files News taped a lot of them, so shout out to you guys for doing that. That's awesome. I'll go ahead and be able to watch those later. I'm really excited about that. Because yeah, I ended up missing out on some of the panels because there was a lot of things happening at once and a lot of things overlapped. So that was kind of a bummer. And for me personally, having gone to a couple of conventions now, I'm really kind of more there for friendships, panels, just kind of having that experience. Next year will probably be more about that. My friend Billy, it was her first big X-Files convention. I know she's met up with some of the actors at there's some smaller conventions before, but it was a really neat experience. She actually went around and had this birthday card for me, signed by each one of the actors, and that was just really awesome. Thank you so much, Billy. I had a blast. I really couldn't have had a better 30th birthday. I mean, I couldn't have had a better time. I really couldn't have. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, birthday I've probably ever had. It was just an amazing experience, being able to do that, and you know, to have a card signed by so many of the actors and people that you look up to. It was just a really amazing experience. So thank you for that. I just had a great time. A lot of us went out after the con to CityWorks, which was right outside the convention hotel, really convenient. A lot of us went out and had some dinner, and that was a great time. We had a great time with that, and thank you guys for those of you who celebrated it with me. I really couldn't have had a better time. I'm so glad to have shared it with you. Yeah, I just couldn't imagine a better way to spend my birthday. Thank you guys. So yeah, that was a great time. And so, okay, the next morning was the Annabeth Gish breakfast, and that was a $275 ticket, so it wasn't cheap. It was actually, I had a lot of agonizing over it because it was very close to the convention, only like maybe a week or two before the convention. They had the option to buy breakfast with either Nick Lee, Frank Spotnitz, or Annabeth Gish. So I'm like, well, it's my big 3 it's one. And so I just went ahead and I actually bought the last ticket right before they sold out. I think within like 10 minutes, I bought that last ticket. And it was a great experience. You know, they had like a buffet style brunch breakfast. So at 9:30 brunch breakfast. Food was good. I mean, was it excellent? No, it was okay. You know, I felt like it was kind of like a typical, like if you've been to like a Days Inn where they have like a buffet breakfast, that's kind of what it was like. They had some potatoes, some eggs. Someone mentioned that the eggs were probably like, you know, that fake stuff that comes out of the bottle or whatever. whatever that's called, and there's a couple of pastries, some sausage links, and that was about it. So it wasn't like extravagant or anything, which I feel like for the money, I feel like it could have been a little bit better. That's just me. The breakfast with Annabeth was just really awesome. I had a great time. It was ended up being about 45-50 minutes in the entirety, and there was 12 of us. And Annabeth kind of started off talking about some of the things that she's been working on, some of the projects she has coming up, and of course somebody had asked her about the revival, and then we kind of went around and kind of introduced ourselves. She asked us, what made us come to breakfast with her, like what we did for a living, and that kind of thing. And I actually didn't mention this, but I actually had visited her table the night before and handed her a copy of the Julietta script that I had been working on, that I had worked on for the virtual season 12 project. And I'll go ahead and link that in the comments below for those of you guys who are interested in reading it. It is a virtual season by a group of friends and I who put it together as kind of like a continuation of the season 11 finale. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, I'll go ahead and link that below. I had actually given Annabeth a copy of the Reyes-based script that is an attempt to kind of give some resolution to Monica Reyes' character, because she, I think all of us can kind of agree that her character wasn't done justice. And so we tried to fill in that gap as best we could with a more satisfying resolution. So that's what we worked on. I provided her a copy of that episode script, and I told her, I'll be back for breakfast tomorrow, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my copy to sign. And so she's really excited. She said she'd go ahead and read it, and the next morning she said she had read part of it. We actually saw her the night before. We actually saw the actors leave around the same time. We went to dinner around 8:30. And then when we came back, we saw a couple of them kind of come into the convention hotel. And everybody just looked wiped. So I think they went out to a party too. I think it was actually Ann Simon's birthday. And if you don't know Ann Simon, she is the science advisor of the X-Files. And we actually share the same birthday. I actually didn't know that. And she's like, oh, by the way, it's my birthday too. Oh, hey, happy birthday. How awesome is that? So that was really cool. She actually signed my birthday card too. But yeah, everybody had come back into the hotel. And that was another common thing that you'd see at this convention, is sometimes you'd run into some of the talent in the elevator. And that was just a really cool experience. And my friend had, run into a couple of them in the elevator. But yeah, a lot of the talent had stayed in the same hotel, so sometimes you'd run into them on the way to getting your photo op or getting your autograph or whatever it is. So that was just a really awesome experience, and it's kind of an unspoken rule that, and the con host actually announced on their Twitter to, if you see like some of the talent, some of the celebrities hanging out in the bar at the first floor of the hotel, to not really disturb them too much, because they just, they want to have a drink and have dinner like the rest of us, right? So we actually saw Dean Haglund and Frank Spotnitz having a drink at the bar right behind us on the first night of the con. So that was actually kind of funny. He actually came over and said hi to my friend Billy, because they're actually fairly close and they've been collaborating quite a bit. So he came over, he's like, hey Billy, what's up, and how are you doing? And so that was really neat. That was pretty awesome. And because she seems to know him so well, she was actually able to get us a quick photo together after he signed my birthday card. So that was really sweet. That was just so awesome to have that experience. But yeah, just generally speaking, don't try and oh my god, if you see see them walking by in the hotel or convention, or just any convention really, you know, if you see like one of your favorite actors, because it's just like they're trying to eat dinner or do normal things like we are. So like, don't try and be like overly intrusive. Like if you want to get like maybe a quick photo, you know, of course, just, you know, ask them politely first, hey, you know, do you mind if we get a quick, you know, photo or whatever, or that sort of thing. But yeah, just like other than like saying hi, yeah, just like you want to like just try to give them some space too. So yeah, okay, so when we had the breakfast with Amanda, she had actually gotten through part of the script. I know like for all of us, the night before had been like craziness, but she said she really loved it so far. And she signed on my script to please keep writing this. And when we were at breakfast, after, as we kind of like went around and talked about like what we did for a living and kind of said a little piece about ourselves, I'd also mentioned that I'm a huge fanfic writer, and we've spent a lot of time on working on this virtual season. And then that's when she said that she had read part of my script, and that was just really awesome. And she actually had said that she wondered if maybe Jillian would do something like this, you know, and that's kind of where she admitted that, you know, both of them weren't really too thrilled. I mean, understandably. I mean, as the rest of us feel about the arcs of Scully and Reyes, they weren't completely brought full circle. They were just kind of, you know, not given any justice for each of their characters. And, you know, understandably, she admitted that a lot of that could be because, you know, Chris Carter is, you know, coming from the perspective of a white male, so that that could be part of the reason. But of course, she said, you know, she owes a lot of respect to Chris Carter, but, you know, she was very honest about, you know, that she was not in agreement with some of those creative decisions. She actually had asked him if, you know, if she actually said that she begged him to please give some sort of reasoning and to why Reyes would do this. Please, you know, give her some sort of redemption. You know, she begged him. So she made it pretty clear that she and Gillian Anderson were both unhappy with, you know, the result of the finale. She doesn't want to, you know, understandably criticize Chris or anything like that, but coming from his perspective, that's kind of why things ended up the way they did. May have been a bit different, but yeah, she basically said that neither of them were happy with the end result. She actually came out and said in a panel that she thought that Reyes's motivations and aligning with the CSM were out of character, that she personally did not think that Reyes would do that. So honestly, I think that really says volumes. But yeah, other than that, she pretty much just kind of talked about, we talked a little bit about some current events, some things that she was working on. You know, it was, like I said, it went very quickly. We know once we went around and everybody kind of said their piece, you know, it was kind of like a lot of people introducing themselves, kind of talking about her previous, some of the work she's working on, and some of the, like, you know, current events and whatnot. So that's pretty much the gist of the breakfast. Then we lined up to get our items signed. And as I said, she signed my script saying to keep writing. That was super awesome. And then we had our photo, we had our selfie photo, which was super awesome. She actually kind of, you know, gave me, you know, after we signed and took our photo, and she gave me a little hug and kind of a kiss on the cheek, saying thank you. And oh my God, that was just like, that was surreal. I wasn't expecting that. She's like, oh, thank you, Valerie. And she kind of like gave me a little cheek kiss. I'm like, you know, that was just really awesome. I really hope she enjoys the rest of the script. And I hope to, like, you know, when I hear back, once she reads the rest of it, I hope she takes a look at the rest of our work. I actually gave her a link to the rest of our episodes where she could read the rest of our scripts. Actually really awesome. would I pay $275 again? Honestly, I felt like we rushed a little bit, to be honest. I felt like the staff, like within like 15 minutes, they were coming around and taking our plates away. And, you know, one of the gals next to us was like, you know, come on, you know, I mean, we paid a lot of money for this, which is true. It was a lot of money. It was $275. So it was a lot. And it goes very quickly. I felt like could have been like the duration and the food could have been a little bit better for the price, just my personal opinion. Of course, that time with Annabeth Gish is priceless. I really love that. But as I said, would I spend that amount of money again? Maybe. But I just felt like it was a lot. It was a lot. So, but again, it was my 30th birthday, and so it was like, why not? But if you have the money to spare, do it. I mean, if you're not on a tight budget or something, you know, do it. You know, at least once. It's a really awesome experience. But it's probably not something I could afford to do every time. But yeah, I'm just glad I did it this one time. It just really made the whole weekend come full circle. So I really liked it. And okay, so that was pretty much the con. On Sunday it was a little bit more low key. A lot of people flew out by 6 p.m. So we're kind of like getting the rest of our photo ops in and everything like that. People had to head to the airport. Yeah, I had a complete blast. And after Sunday we kind of winded down a bit. The thing that happened on Saturday was that actually when the Enigma had heard that it was my 30th birthday, he came over and he had given me something. It was just like this little metallic blue puzzle piece. I'm like, oh my god, thank you, right? So when I went back to my hotel, I had put it in this like yellow envelope that we had used for our autograph tickets, and we put it on our TV stand. And so we left because you know we'd come back in the morning, we'd put some of our stuff down, gotten situated, and then we went out again. And then later that night, we had actually come back and realized our beds and stuff and things were cleaned up. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird because we had left our Do Not Disturb sign on the entire time that we were gone. And so I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of weird, you know, because the whole weekend we had our Do Not Disturb sign up so nobody would go in there. And then later that night, I realized that that envelope was missing. And we tore up the place looking for it everywhere, and we could not find it. So the next morning, after the breakfast with Annabeth Gish, I went to tell the manager what happened. Hey, we had this Do Not Disturb sign up the whole time, and we're missing things. At least those are the things that we noticed were missing. And the manager's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna have to call in and find, you know, check who was working that day and come back in 15 minutes and I'll let you know. Okay, so we came back a little bit later and she basically tells us that the housekeeper said we did not have the sign on the door. And when basically kind of a bullshit kind of run around that, oh, well, you know, it wasn't on the door and this is our process when the sign's not on the door, like I'm a fucking idiot or something. You know, I'm like, yes, I know what happens when you don't leave the Do Not Disturb sign up. I know what happens. So basically she said that there wasn't anything she could do. Basically, oh, this was the reason they came in, and basically, hope you find it. Have you looked everywhere? That was it. No sort of consolation, no sort of compensation, nothing. Just that was it. Like she, you know, it's just like, honestly, that makes me not really want to stay there again. I mean, obviously their housekeeping isn't trustworthy. We made sure we had the sign up the entire time. I asked my husband and my friend who were sharing the room, hey, did you take the Do Not Disturb sign off? Neither of them did. So the sign was up the entire time. So obviously someone came in, and I don't know what happened, if they just thought it was trash and threw it away. I don't know. Management basically would not do anything about it, nor would they offer any sort of consolation for it. So just a heads up, if there's another convention at that hotel, honestly, I'm probably going to think twice about staying there after that, because it's kind of like, you know, I mean, I know I left it right here on the TV in a very distinct place. And it was gone, I mean, it's no coincidence it was gone the same day that housekeeping came in unannounced. So that was kind of a bummer. Thankfully, my friend Billy had gone over to the Enigma, which was one of the actors that was on the show, and just explained the situation. Oh, you know, my friend's really devastated, and you know, this happened, and you know, he kind of joked with her and gave her another one for me. So that was super nice. That was really awesome. Because like, yeah, I was like really torn up about it, like, you know, I mean, because he'd give me that for my birthday, you know, and so, yeah, that's kind of the thing about the hotel. They actually initially had given us a dirty room where there was like, someone's emptied a couple soda cans and change, so my experience with the hotel wasn't too great. I mean, everything else was a blast, but the hotel itself wasn't that good, so just an FYI, if there's another convention at the hotel. But yeah, other than that, I had a blast. I can't wait for the next one. Initially, I was like, I don't know if I want to go to another one anytime soon, you know, it's a lot of money or whatever. But no, after this time, even my friend Billy was like, no, we gotta do this again. This was freaking awesome, and it was just a blast. I just had an awesome time. As I said before, I'll probably just end up getting general admission next time, you know, and just kind of go for the experience. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you went to XFestCon, please let me know in the comments what you thought of it, and I'll see you guys next time. And of course, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.